Hello, my name is Radoslav Danilak, and I am founder and CEO of Tachium. Yesterday, prime ministers start with role of digitalization and digital transformation, which was very important for working during the COVID and during pandemia. And focus of European Union is focus on digitalization. Now, one of the aspects is it's not for free. As we mentioned in a previous video, data center takes power. And in fact, last year, more than 3% of world electricity has been consumed by the data center. On top of that, data centers are growing about 15% per year, which means they are doubling between 4 to 5 years. If we translate that growth, it will mean that in 10 years from now, almost 30% of planet electricity would be consumed by the data center. So reducing power consumption will be very important. Otherwise, we cannot continue with digitalization. And the fact that Tachium reduces power by 10 times, it would mean that even 10 years from now, we will be consuming less energy than today. And humanity simply cannot stop continuing on digitalization. Another aspect of digitalization is artificial intelligence. We call it AI. The reason why AI is so important, because based on various studies, in next 10 years, 40% of GDP growth will come from AI. So it's very important. In fact, other studies basically mentioning that about $15 trillion of world GDP will be produced by 2030 by AI. Now, AI is used today everywhere, and what is the next stage in AI development is AI with capability and capacity and speed faster than human brain. Why is it important? Because it will cause the revolution much bigger than it was industrial revolution, when human muscle been replaced with machines. And it freed the people from agriculture to do something else, something more important. Now, the human brain scale AI basically is not something sci-fi which we'll see 10 to 20 years from now. It's in fact the capability and machine with that capability is expected to be built in Slovak Republic next year. And that's the huge value which Slovakia would be able to bring to European Union, because European Union consumes 30% of compute resources of the world, but has only 5% of installed capacity. So next few years, European Union make the priority of technological sovereignty, and they will be building many $1 billion of data centers, almost $9 to $10 billion of data centers will be built. And so the technology developed in Slovakia and United States by Tachium can fulfill exactly that need. And in fact, you can see, for people who are physically present on GLOBSEC, they can see when they exit the door on the right side, the FPGA prototype of the system which will be available. Now, the reason why we are bringing this year the importance of AI is that compared to Industrial Revolution, where it took 100 years for people to transition from agriculture to manufacturing, AI revolution will be very fast, and is very fast, which means that people will be unable very quickly to adapt. They have less than half generation time to adapt to new environment, acquire new skills, and basically, move to do more important jobs which machines will be unable to do. And that's very important, because if the society and governments will not help people to transition to higher skill jobs, and they will be left behind, it can create a lot of problems and instability in industry. So it's very timely that the governments, representatives, prime ministers, scientists, and academia will be discussing, hopefully, on this GLOBSEC, how the AI will transform workplace, society, economy, warfare, and generally Earth. So I think it's very timely, and Slovakia not only will bring that capability to the European Union, but also to the whole world. And one of the most important aspects is that people will have equitably access to this technology. We don't want to have AI to be owned by two governments for military purpose. And in fact, technology of universal processor, what we are bringing, will allow to democratize AI and human brain scale AI to many commercial players. Any large-scale service provider, not just Facebook, Google, but also the smaller one, OHV and Yahoo, and even smaller one, automatically for free, they will have capability to have human brain scale AI, which they can allow to get access to everybody. So whole world can benefit completely equitably, and we will bring the AI for all and AI for good. Thank you very much.